Hello and welcome to a special exclusive edition of Wez and Larry's Top 10s, which, for the first time ever, will not be on TV.
Except all the episodes which you put up online, even though you wasn't supposed to.
Oh, shush you.
In this exclusive episode, we'll be proving that you can't polish a turd by looking at all those games which promise so much, yet were absolutely fucking awful.
Dude, you can't swear.
We're not on TV anymore, we can say what the fuck we want. Fuck, 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 see?
Haha, that's flipping awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, it's now time for Wez and Larry's Top 10
Overhyped ShIte.
We start off with a game in which Peter Molyneux promised the world to revolutionise gaming and redefine games.
Of course, he fucking lied.
Fable was initially called Project Ego, which is quite fitting really, and ended up pissing some off, whilst others who didn't get caught up in the hype loved it.
And of course it had led on to other Fable games, all of which Mr. Molyneux learnt his lesson, didn't he? Did he, bollocks?
For a game that was in development for over a decade, you'd have thought there'd been something worth playing by the end of it.
Too Human was a game so bad for some people it's a repressed memory, whilst others had to endure months of psychotherapy to remove the psychological scarring it created.
Bad controls, unbelievably long monotonous levels, unskippable death sequences which lasted like a million years, and ancient and frustrating gameplay made this a massive flop.
For a game centering on Norse mythology, it can bugger off to Helheim. They should have called this game Liar.
A game hyped to the max and made use of the PS3 6-axis, which of course sucks harder than an East End prostitute.
If giving gamers repetitive strain injury wasn't enough, the whole game was bleeding terrible, and as a result nobody bothered buying it.
It didn't stop Play magazine giving the game 9 out of 10 though, which of course goes to prove that console-specific magazines are in no way biased whatsoever.
Layer was so bad that Factor 5 no longer exists, just like dragons.
Have you not played Skyrim?
No. I bet they wish they had taken the blue pill for this one.
Haven't we done that joke?
For a movie that essentially ripped off Ghost in the Shell, Enter the Matrix flopped harder than the Matrix sequels. And that's saying something, as it's now one of the most fucked franchises in Hollywood.
Enter the Matrix was supposed to be awesome, allowing gamers an opportunity to enter the world of the Matrix with its awesome kung fu, gunplay and characters.
But instead we got a bunch of formulaic, monotonous levels that made most gamers go insane.
The game was so bad that Larry Wachowski is now a transgender female and calls herself Lana Wachowski.
That's not true. Really? Give me the fucking red pill.
This PS3 exclusive Halo killer ended up killing any self-respect anyone had left for its developer, Free Radical.
How can a company that made a series so awesome as Time Splitters screw up so much?
Exactly. If you're going to hype the hell out of a game and make such bold claims, try not to shove such a vanilla, boring game that's full of glitches in front of everyone's face and not expect them to notice.
Except they did, and nobody bought the game. So the only thing Free Radical are developing nowadays are their resumes, as they no longer exist.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to take a well-loved TV series, turned okay-ish movie franchise, and turn that into a fucking awful video game.
From Halo killers to GoldenEye killers, Mission Impossible is an impossible mission to begin with such arrogant claims.
GoldenEye proved that movie licenses didn't have to be generic piles of unplayable shit. Then Mission Impossible balls that all up again.
It was so bad, Tom Cruise didn't even want to have anything to do with it. And he's a right Ethan Hunt.
Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Dead or Alive, Soul Calibur. What do these games have in common? Not only are they decent fighters, you can also play as more than one bloody character.
They also don't have any bleeding robots in them either.
Cyrax and Sector are robots in Mortal Kombat.
Oh, fuck off.
And Jax.
Well, he's only got robotic arms, so he's technically an android. And Rise of Robots, there's more shitty androids in it than a store that sells iPhone rip-offs.
Rise was the epitome of style over substance. Hell, they even got Brian May to do the soundtrack. But crap reviews and piss poor sales didn't stop them from releasing a sequel, which was also shit.
Just like all Romeros, they start off making much loved classics, but later on end up making god-awful shite.
Everyone remembers John Romero's Doom, but no one could really care about his other D title, Daikatana.
Despite delaying the game by over 2 years, he still couldn't create a game that was even remotely playable by his previous work standards.
But for a man who wanted to make us his bitch, he ended up getting bitch slapped by the bad review scores, poor sales and complaints. He's only famous in the first place because he hung on to ID's fame like a dried piece of shit on the hair of a dog's arse.
You may have noticed that so many of their other previous entries have been so-called killers of other titles. Yet the only thing that this game killed was any respect anyone had for the Driver series.
In Driver 3, you played as John Crabman Tanner, who went around a city populated with acrobats who can dodge cars on pavements, getting involved in glitches, shootouts and glitches.
Whilst uploading and watching everybody's glitch montages online was pretty funny and entertaining, the game itself wasn't, and it didn't exactly show the game in the best light.
Not that 2 magazines seemed to have noticed at the time, giving the game 9 out of 10, often referred to as the Drivergate scandal.
It didn't kill off the franchise though, but it's still never been the rival to Grand Theft Auto it so dearly wanted to be.
You're an inspiration for birth control.
Yes, and your inspiration for quality control.
How could this game not be at number 1? Duke Nukem Forever was in development for over 15 years. Let's look what happened in that time.
We've had 3 generations of consoles, we've had franchises such as Halo, Metal Gear Solid and the Call of Duty series, Randy Savage died, and Duke Nukem returns and is still making the exact same jokes about tits.
Gameplay is archaic, the humour is outdated, and for a game that took a decade and a half to develop, it still ended up feeling rushed.
To say Duke Nukem Forever got shit reviews is an understatement. The Duke Nukem games seemed cheeky and shocking in the 90s, now they just seem fucking juvenile.
So Duke, eat shit and die.
So thanks ever so much for watching the last ever, well probably not last ever.
May not, might not be the last ever one.
Wez and Larry's Top 10s! Larry's gay.
Bye. Fuck off, feeling my tit.